Hey guys, it's Anish, and today we're going to be going over the Android manifest file and the build.gradle file. So both of these are very important to the application, and they basically house some of the details of the components of the application. So what I mean by this is, for example, it states the icon. So whatever like icon or image you specify here will be the one that shows up in the launcher. It also specifies the label, so we will change this later, but that's basically the name that's associated with the application in the launcher. And then it also specifies the theme and each of the activities, and I'll show kind of what else is done in addition to with these. So right now you can see there's the application, and then within it there's an activity, and the activity is just called main activity. And as you can see, that's really the only activity we have right now, and it's just left empty. And let's say I were to create a new activity. So we'll go to File, New, Activity, and let's do empty activity. And we'll call it main2 activity. Or let's actually give it a completely different name. Let's call it number 2. And then activity number 2, finish. So you can see there's a new activity here. And then in the Android manifest, now it also says there's another activity called number 2. And it's missing well, if you notice, the main difference is it does not have this big intent filter. That's what it's really called. You see, it's intent filter. And it really just has a name. So really, what's the difference? Like, what is this intent filter adding to this activity that it does not belong in this activity? Well, basically, this intent filter is saying that this is the main activity, Android intent.action.main, and it's the launcher activity. What this means is that this is the activity that is open when you click on the icon. And that's important because, let's say, you need to specify kind of which activity you want to open when you first launch the application, and you do it with this intent filter. So right now we just have the name, and it's going to this number 2 activity. And if you go to the layout, you'll notice that both of these layouts right now, let them load, actually say manifest and Gradle intro. That's just what I named the project, and that's just the title for them. Let's say we wanted to change both of them. So in the Android manifest, we can go here and we can change the label. Right now it's string app name corresponds to just the name of the project. This is a string resource. You don't need to worry about that right now, but we can change it to demo, for example, and we'll save it. So this label applies to the whole application. So now if we go back here and we refresh the UI, it says demo, and this one will say demo as well. Now let's say we wanted only activity main to say demo, and activity number 2 should say hello. Well, you go into this one specifically now, and you can say label hello. And then when you go back to look at the user interface, you can refresh it. It now says hello. So if you think about it, it's almost like it's inheriting everything from the larger application, but you can still override it within the activity itself. Okay, so that's basically what the activities part is. There's also permissions you define within the Android manifest. So let's say you wanted to add permission to access the internet. You would start typing uses permission, and the name you can just start typing internet, and it auto completes it for you. And actually, it's really easy to see exactly which permissions. Well, you can see a quick list of all the permissions just in Chrome or your browser. On this URL, we'll put it in the description. Basically, these are all the possible permissions you can have. And keep in mind, actually, in Android 6.0 Marshmallow, they redid the permission, so the user actually has to give the app permission for it to be able to use these. But don't worry about that right now. So this is basically, we just gave the app permission to access the internet. We can do it with one more. How about camera? Uses permission. Start typing in camera, and look at that. There's a permission right there for camera. That's pretty cool. So now when you download the application from Google Play, it'll actually say this application must access internet and camera. And that, just keep in mind, because this basically manifest is specifying details of the application that are just needed by Google Play and the application in general. So now build.gradle is also important. It's actually newly added. So before Android Studio, there was no build.gradle. And they actually specifically went with this new method that does have build.gradle because of some really cool functionality it adds. So first of all, it lets you you specify the min SDK version in the Gradle. So as you know, there's many different versions of Android, and you probably won't be able to support all of them. So you can just specify the minimum one. The target SDK is like which one you're really building it towards. 23 is currently the newest one. Version code, version name, they're just, kind of, you can keep records of which version you're on. It'll show up in Google Play. And build tools is just, saying you're kind of using the newest components by Google. And then skip over build types. This is really for, if you have different like versions of the app you want to run, like beta tests or alpha builds, you can use that. And then dependencies is, it's kind of how you get additional functionality into your application. So for example, right now you are this is just the app compat library, but there's a few more you can add. So let's say we were to add parse. So what you do is you can manually type in like compile, and if you know the exact string to type here, you could do that. But chances are you don't have that memorized. So what you can do is you can right-click on App, open Module Settings, click on the module app right here, and go to Dependencies. And here you can basically add libraries. So if you look, whatever is here actually corresponds with whatever shows up here. And we'll just click on plus, library dependency, and you can search for certain libraries. This is basically searching like kind of like a database. Not everything you want will be in here, but the one we're adding for parse will be. So you can type in parse, and the one we actually need is com.parse Android 1.10.3. You click OK, and OK, and if you notice, now parse shows up here. So that's actually the Gradle has to sync every time you make a change. Let it sync, because basically this is now like importing the libraries. Actually, you can also manually add libraries. So if we go back here, open module settings, when you're going to dependencies, you can also click on. You can also add in a file. So if you just download it to your computer, you can just locate it like that and add it. So yeah, that's a quick summary of Gradle and the manifest. I hope it made sense, and if you have any questions, as always, please let me know. Thanks.